It's Radio Free 501c, the podcast of Rogue Tulips Consulting. I'm your host, Cecilia Sapp. Please remember to subscribe. We're on all your favorite podcast services. This week, I'm joined by my longtime friend and colleague, KiKi L'Italian of Amplified Impact, and we are going to be discussing creating community via content. It's short and sweet, but you'll love it. Welcome to episode 186. Hey everybody, it's Monday, March 6th. That means it's time for another episode of Radio Free 501c, brought to you by Rogue Tulips Consulting. I'm your host, Cecilia Sapp. I'm the principal and founder of Rogue Tulips, and I'm a certified association executive. We're here today for a very short, sweet, and to the point conversation with my longtime friend and colleague, KiKi, and we talked too much before we did the show, which is why it's short, but that's okay. So KiKi, welcome to the show. I'm so glad you could join me. I was so excited that you could be here. Would you like to say hello and tell our audience a little about yourself?
Yes. Hi, my name's KiKi L'Italian, and I am a longtime supporter of all things Cecilia Sapp, all things Cecilia Sapp. And I have a company that is called Amplified Impact. It has evolved from Amplified Growth, and I focus on digital strategy. And I also have Association Chat, which is a podcast in a community that's been around for about 14 years now.
And that is one of the reasons I have been dying to have you on the show. And I'm glad we finally got to do this. I'll have to have you back for a longer conversation in the future. But we Missouri girls, we love to talk.
That's
So
it.
one of the wonderful things about March, everyone, is March is Women Podcasters in the Association Community Space Month. And so KiKi's the first guest because she is, in my opinion, the queen of Association Podcast because of the longevity of Association Chat. Just very quickly, Association Chat, and yes, you do deserve that bow. Association Chat actually started as a Twitter chat when we used to do those, and we used to have a ball doing that. And KiKi has been running it ever since. And as her company has evolved, so has Association Chat. One of the wonderful things that KiKi has done is she has created an entire community that is driven by content. So KiKi, could you share a little bit more about what you do with Association Chat, how you keep people connected, and how you're always finding new content?
Oh, I love this. So thank you for asking me about this topic because it is something that's near and dear to my heart. I think that if I look back at how you and I really connected in the beginning, it actually ties really well to this whole theme, this whole topic. Because when you're talking about component relations, when you're talking about chapters, when you're talking about member groups, you're talking about community. And so I think that the thing that has I don't know, inspired Association Chat to grow over time and inspired me and motivated me to stick with it is that I really believe in the power of people coming together and as a community caring for each other and doing good things. And so, there's a lot of talk, especially during the pandemic, there was a ton of talk about what community really means, because it doesn't necessarily mean that you're geographically in the same spot or you're in the same space, right? But are you in the same mind space? Are you wanting the same things and the same goals? And do you have the same mission? Which a lot of us are connected to in our work in associations. And so a lot of the drive behind Association Chat over the years has been exploring that and in really figuring out what does work and what doesn't work. And I guess if I had to look at one of the common threads that's run through it that I think maybe I'm known for and Association Chat's known for is really trying new things, right? Because we don't all stay the same forever. We change. And so being able to adapt and to try new things and to take people along with us is part of that.
Well, and I think that is really something you're an exemplar of, is trying new things, evolving, going in different directions. I think that is something you and I have in common, because I have, my career is not at all what I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to do one thing and did something else. But I just love that. Like, one of the things that you do in association chat is you ask a weekly question, and you seem to get pretty good response on that. So what are some of the other things you do in association chats community, which everyone, the association chat community is on Facebook, if you're
Mhm.
looking for it.
Yeah.
So, and I especially want to say that for our global audience who joins us at all various times of their day, morning, afternoon, good evening. I want to thank them all for listening. So when you're coming up with those ideas for that interaction, are you inspired by other people, or do you just say, hey, let me try this new thing?
Yeah, all of the above. At some level, I'm always paying attention to what other people are doing that's working, and really trying to figure out, what it is that's working. Is that something that that particular person, their personality or their brand, it's really well suited to that situation, that group? Or is it something that will work with, the association chat community? And I think that the roots of the community, like understanding your people and understanding, what is sort of the secret sauce of what goes into making that community is so important. Because, for example, with association chat, you mentioned the founding. Jeff DeCania, beginning of Twitter, was like, let's explore what tweet chats look like surrounding the hashtag asin chat, right? I like to say it's like the most pornographic sounding hashtag ever.
Yeah.
The asin chat. And this idea was that, once a week people would come together to talk about things, important subjects of the day, on Twitter. And, it was like, it really it attracted the people who were into tech, who were into trying new things. It attracted the edgiest of association executives, people who were really looking at new forms of communication and technology. And so that's something that is unique to association chat, I think, and what, the types of people who are part of the community, because there is this sort of tendency to be interested in talking about communications topics and technology topics and things that are sort of, on the edge or in the future of what's happening with associations, which makes it really exciting.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I mean, that's part of all of that stuff that goes into making it what it is.
Well, and you mentioned people that were interested in technology, and I'm glad you mentioned Jeff DeCania, because that he did do it and then say, hey, KiKi, do you want to take over? I
Yeah.
didn't. I felt that was your story to tell. That's why.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, yeah.
So,
Like, anybody who knows Jeff, you should also go check out Jeff DeCania if you haven't had the chance. For your international listeners who don't know who Jeff DeCania is, even though he is worldwide, you should go check him out too. He's still doing amazing things and pushing those boundaries.
yeah, big thinker, and always has been. And I always like to joke, I knew Jeff DeCania before he was Jeff DeCania. He always kind of rolls his eyes when I say that, because we used to work together. But he, even then, Jeff was that big thinker.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
surprised that his career evolved the way it did. I'm not surprised association chat has evolved, because you have always been a person who's let me try, let me grow, let me do something different, because we don't know if we don't try. But you had mentioned people who like technology. You took it from a Twitter chat to what it is today. It's a successful podcast. It's a successful online community, successful content creation. So association chat in itself is almost a record of technology use in the
Yeah.
association community.
Yeah. I have my little furry companion who's like, hey, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that with association chat, trying those new things, looking for the content that really sticks. And I know that we've we are going to continue this discussion in the future, but just for people to think about it as they go into whatever they're doing next. Thinking about not just the types of content that's working for you today, but looking around and saying, okay, what content is going to, in terms of community, make them engage with each other? And I think the reason I'll always have some sort of question of the week, sometimes I have more than one, but like there's the purpose of it is really to try to give people a low risk way to be somewhat vulnerable with each other in a way that they don't have to worry about what it means for their future and their careers or something like that. Some low risk way for them to share so that they can connect with others. And so when I think about content, I think about what's something like that that's more than just educational or informational. What is something that will bring people together to each other, not just communicating with a community manager or the brand or whatever. And that's something that is an ongoing challenge, but is also something I think is really important when you're thinking about creating content that also feeds and creates community.
That is a wonderful thought to close on, because I know we need to wrap this up. This is probably the shortest one we've done, but it's wonderful. I'll definitely invite you back and we will focus. We'll focus. But KiKi, if people wanted to get in touch with you, what's the best way to find you?
Go to associationchat.com. That's a really great place to go. You can also, I have a really unique name, so KiKi Latayan will take you to a number of different ways that you can find me. You can also go to kikilatayan.com, but since my last name's hard to spell, you can also go to amplifiedgrowth.net.
Excellent.
There you go.
Well, KiKi, thank you so much. We always have so much fun talking. I guess I should have recorded our entire conversation, but I'll definitely have you back so we can continue this conversation. I want to thank you for being my first guest during my March Madness, which is Women Association Podcasters. And thank you again, my friend, colleague, thought leader, founder, well, not founder, but grower of Association Chat. Thank you so much for joining me, and wish I should have had you on sooner. I say that to a lot of people. So, but you will definitely be back.
I'll be back, and we'll do even more.
And we'll do more. So no, that's great. And I would just like to thank you again. And to our audience, if you'd like to learn more about Rogue Tulips and how we can help you grow outside the box, bloom outside the box, check out our website, roguetulips.com. If you're a current CAE or a CAE candidate, or you're just a curious sort like myself and you're interested in some nonprofit education, check out our education program, the 501c League. It has its own website, the 501cleague.net. So that's it for this week, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. And again, want to thank KiKi for spending some time with me today. And on behalf of KiKi and myself, thanks for joining us, and we'll be back next time. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss another exciting episode.